I'm Aaron with Electronic Life, and I'm here to show you your system here at Kay's Garden. All right, so this is the head end here back in the head end room. And to get into the rack, push this down, over, and open. You'll notice it does have a lock right here. If you do want to use the lock, inside this drawer we have left keys for you, which you can take and lock this door and put in your own office or what you'd like to do, but we're leaving it unlocked for now. In any event, up top is going to be your network equipment that was installed by Friends of the Topeka Zoo. Then down here we have your router, your switches. This is all part of your network here up on top. So anything to do with your network is here, other than the wireless access points, which are on the floor. So here we have a power strip bank, and the reason we installed this bank is so that way if you need to reset something, you don't have to get behind any of the equipment to do that. You can reset it right here. So these are just switches. Currently, as we are doing this video, there's a meeting going on, so I will not be resetting the switches as I show you this, but there is the router, the switch, the PoE switch, control 4 system, touchscreen, sources, Bluetooth, and audio. So each one of these are start with the router Wi-Fi. You would reset that if you're having trouble needing to reset the router and the Wi-Fi system overall in the venue. Just flip that switch off, back on. I would wait 5 to 10 seconds between flipping it off to back on to give it time to power cycle. But a lot of times power cycling a piece of equipment is a way to fix it. So power cycle here. Next you have the switch. That's also part of the network. So if you were to power cycle the network, I would do both of these and then pop it back on. The PoE switch, that's a little bit different. That has power involved in it. So that is what is powering some of the devices out on the floor do with the TVs that have to do with the television. So if you're having a problem with the TV signal specifically, the PoE switch and the Control 4 system might be part of that. The Control 4 system is just that. That is the back-end system that controls everything that's going on. So when you go to the touch screen and you hit a button and it does something, there's a program that does that, that allows the TVs to turn on or off or control the volume. That is the Control 4 system, which is this unit right here. So that's called the EA5 controller. This is what holds all the programming to do all the fun things that happen when you push a button on your system. That is the power for that. So on, off. Without that, you have no control over anything. The touch screen is just that. It's the touch screen out on the floor. So you have one touch screen, and that flips the power to that touch screen. We did this because for some reason the touch screen locks up. It is a little computer within that touch screen that's running that. And if you ever needed to power recycle that touch screen, there's no other way to do it than from right here. So you flip that off, back on, and it recycles that. Your sources are your barcodes 1 and 2, and that will reset those as well as
HDMI wall plate.
HDMI wall plate. So you have an HDMI wall plate there on the floor. This sources switch resets the barcodes and that HDMI. The barcodes are your wireless sender. So coming from the computer to the displays, or however you are casting wirelessly from the displays up to the televisions, that's what the barcodes do. You have 2 of those. And then we have our Bluetooth, which is the Bluetooth for your phones and devices to be able to Bluetooth music into the venue. There is you can auto sign on to that Bluetooth just by searching for it. However, note on the Bluetooth, it stops at the doors. So the Bluetooth has to be done from the venue, from inside the main area, where you can find that and connect to it. Okay, and then the audio is just that. It's the audio system. So anything to do with the speakers, the sound system, there's the audio. So this was an important thing to talk about. This is how you reset everything you need to in the head end if you needed to, if something locked up. This is where you would go to do it. Power it off, power it on, wait 5 to 10 seconds between doing that. Okay. The rest of this is your head-end equipment that we just talked about. These are your microphones and your control and your amplifiers and your Bluetooth. Everything is here for that. So the main switch is the thing that's the most important, and then from there, give us a call if you have a problem. We would have to come out and take a look from there. But this is your head end, and then from here, we're gonna go out and we'll look at the rest of the system.
Okay, so to begin to use the wireless HDMI displays, first you need to get onto the K's Garden network. This is on a Windows computer, by the way. So select K's Garden, you want to hit connect, and then you enter the password, which is, it could change. So now that you're connected, you then look at the television screen and see what the IP address is of the device. It's in the upper right corner and the low number there.
172.16.31.18.
Which can change.
You will type that.
You type that into your browser, whether it be Google or whoever you prefer, and then you get this home page.
I am not. Here it is.
So from here you have software for Windows or Mac. Since this is a Windows machine, you can click the portable software, where it will not permanently install anything on there, or you can click the installer if you plan on using the system multiple times. I've already installed the system, the installer version, and that will now be the MirrorOp software. So I now select that icon. It will open up the MirrorOp software, where at the bottom you have input IP or host name, where again you put in that same number that you did before. In this case, 172.16.31.18. Again, this number can change. From here, it asks you for a passcode to get onto the conference/bridal Wi-Fi. That code is 1033. As soon as I enter that in, I get a check mark on the conference bridal barcode. I then hit the play button, which will start mirroring, and I am instantly now mirroring the screen. So my screen is now up there. So this can be for video presentation, for PowerPoint, to play music through the speaker system, whatever you'd desire. To stop it, you reselect the barcode on your computer screen. So I just reopened up the barcode here, and I hit the stop button. When I hit stop, it then stops on the television screen.
All right, and I'm going to show you how to connect with a Mac instead of a PC. So on a Mac, it's just a little bit different. On a Mac, if you're connected to the Wi-Fi, up here in the top right-hand corner, you have AirPlay options. So as long as you're connected to the Wi-Fi, which I am, K's Garden, you will see your AirPlay option right there. When I click that down, you will see Conference Bridal, Wireless HDMI 1 and 2. Wireless HDMI 1 and 2 is for the main hall. This Bridal Conference is where we are in here. So if I connect Bridal Conference, immediately you will see on the screen as soon as I connect. There's some music playing. Here we go. But you will see up on the screen the connection from my computer. So also, if you were playing a video, here I'm going to play a video right off of my laptop. You're going to see the video up here up on the screen. You'll see the video here on my laptop. The volume control can be controlled directly from the laptop here. So here's what's cool. I am showing this video. It's playing up on the screen. So this is an easy way to wirelessly have conference between. Again, it supports native AirPlay. So There's no software to download on the Mac. It just automatically connects. What you were shown earlier was software you have to download that it takes you to if you're working with a PC. But now we're going to show you one more cool thing. So I'm connected right now with my Apple up here up on the screen. If I come over here and I'm now on the PC and I want to connect, I'm going to do the start mirroring. Now look up on the screen. What happens is both computers are up there. So you can have a collaboration of sorts to have both computers be giving a presentation. And that works whether you're in here or in the main hall. You can use either one of those. So that's pretty slick. So that allows you to have multiple computers. Now what's also cool is if right now if I were to grab my phone and I were to AirPlay from my phone, so not only can you cast computers, you can cast tablets and phones. So just use the AirPlay icon on your phone, it will pop it right up there, and you can have up to 4 displays up on the screen simultaneously. Whenever I disconnect here from any computer, it will automatically disconnect, and then, there we go.
Single click.
Yeah. It will automatically disconnect. I was just double clicking, my fault. And it will automatically bring the other computer up that was there originally. So this is how you cast up to the screen. Just use the instructions in the top right hand corner to connect from any computer, any device, and you're set. You're ready to go. Okay, I'm here in the gallery to talk to you about the gallery sound in this area. So the only thing going on in the gallery audio video wise is there are speakers throughout here. And the purpose of these speakers are for none other than for spillover audio than whatever's going on in the event hall. So there's nothing you turn on in here unless there's something going on in there. In fact, the button is unresponsive if there's no audio going on in there. If you have any audio going on there, it does not matter. It could be Bluetooth, it can be a microphone, it can be the laptop audio, whatever it is you have going on audio, AM, FM radio, whatever's going on, if there is sound in there, this keypad turns the sound on in here. Now, at the time of this filming, while we're making this instruction video, I do not have these buttons labeled. So you notice they're all blank right now. We have ordered engraved buttons that will make this labeled and say what I'm telling you it does. So here shortly you will have those buttons here. For today though, let me explain what this is. That top button, you'll notice it's red right here to the side. That red means off. If I hit this button up top, it takes it just a minute, and then you will see it go to blue. Try that again. See that? There we go. So it goes to blue. Now, we purposely have it so it doesn't come on very loud because I never want it to blare on you. So when you hit that button, it just kind of pops on. Here is your off, right below. When you hit off, it goes red. So we'll go back to hit it in blue again. This is your volume up and your volume down for the gallery. And again, this is only tied audio to the main event hall into this area. So it just allows you to have some spillover audio and then control the volume up from there. It's a little soft when you turn it on, that's on purpose. But then you turn it up here and then you'll get the volume levels that you want for your event. But I recommend turning this on only, obviously, after you have audio going on here so you can kind of test the audio levels that you want in here as people are walking through. You don't want it too loud because you want people to be able to talk and converse, but it can give you a little tie-in audio from the main event hall. So that's what this keypad's about, and we'll go on to the next thing. Thank you. All right, I'm here to talk about the event hall now and how we're going to control that. So, the event hall is all stemmed around the touch screen right here. And right below the touch screen, you will notice there is a pack. And this pack has an HDMI, when I say pack, a wall plate. And this has a HDMI input, and then it also has an XLR input for a microphone and a stereo input for any kind of audio source that you would want to put in there. That we're gonna go through the options here. So on the keypad, if you wait about a minute or two, it times out. And when it times out and goes black, you'll have this keypad to enter. We do that as a safety precaution, so that way nobody can just come up and control it. You have to know the code. The code is 1933, which is the year the zoo was established. So 1933, check mark, takes you into the main screen. Now, I'm currently playing radio, so I'm gonna back out of that, because normally you would see something else. You're gonna see an input and a listen section here. So the listen section, when you hit the listen section, you're gonna see all the things you can listen to. You have wireless HDMI 1, wireless HDMI 2, wall plate, Bluetooth, and TuneIn. Start with TuneIn, which is what I was on. TuneIn is AM/FM radio. So you can go to local radio, and it has all the local radio stations right here, and whatever you select, that's what will play in the main venue. So if you want to just to turn on a radio station, there it is, and the volume control is right here. It automatically starts the volume at a set 72%, but you can raise it and lower it from there. Now, I'm gonna go back to my options so we can talk about the other options that were there. So we talked about TuneIn just now, that's AM/FM radio. Bluetooth is just that. That is Bluetooth on your phone. And I'm gonna have a phone here. So when I select Bluetooth, what that means is any phone can Bluetooth into that. So let's go to, I'll show you those settings. So on the phone, when you go search for Bluetooth, you will see Kay's Garden Bluetooth. So just search for Bluetooth on your phone or device. When you select that, it will connect to Kay's Garden Bluetooth, and then you can use your Spotify, Pandora, whatever you like to play through the venue. So that's how you do that. Now, keep in mind, when you Bluetooth, only one person can Bluetooth at a time. So if somebody else connects Bluetooth, it will kick the other person off. Another thing to keep in mind is there's no way to pass lock the Bluetooth. So anybody can Bluetooth into the Bluetooth here in the venue, meaning that if anybody searched and found Kay's Garden Bluetooth and select it, they could take it over. So I do not recommend Bluetooth as a method to play music for a venue because anybody could just pop somebody off of that.
An event.
An event, if you were to have an event here. So do not recommend that necessarily. It's great for just having some music while anybody's in here just hanging out, working, or whatever, but not as a main event source for that reason, because it can't be predictable that somebody wouldn't kick you off. All right, so then the wall plate's the next one. And the wall plate is just that. It is the wall plate down below. That's gonna be the audio off of the HDMI. So if you had an HDMI source plugged in here, whether it be a computer, a Blu-ray player, a Roku device, anything that you plug in with HDMI, the audio from that is going to be that wall plate right here. Now, the wireless HDMI 1 and 2, the TVs that we have here in the venue, we have 2 TVs on this side and 2 TVs on the right-hand side. Those televisions, you can wirelessly cast up to the TV from any laptop, phone, or device, just like we showed you in the bridal suite. It's exactly the same thing. That wireless HDMI 1 and 2 that was on there, that is simply selecting the audio, playing in the venue for those devices. So, to recap, you can wirelessly cast your laptop up to these screens, and you can then separately choose the audio that's playing through the venue. There are 2 wireless devices for this area. So you can choose wireless HDMI 1 or wireless HDMI 2. You can connect to either, and then you can play the audio from either on through the system. And that's what that HDMI 1 and 2 wireless was. So, to recap, the audio is separate from the video. So when you select the video, you can select audio separately from that. And that's why we do that. That would allow you to play some music through the main hall while there's video on the screens at the same time. It wouldn't change. It would allow you to do one or the other. Okay, so to recap, we have wireless HDMI 1, wireless HDMI 2, the wall plate, which is the HDMI wall plate down below, Bluetooth, which is from your phone or device, and then TuneIn is built-in AM/FM radio into the keypad. All right, so we're gonna go back to the home screen. We've gone over everything on the listen. Now we're gonna go to the inputs. But before we do that, I wanna talk to you about the microphones. So there are 3 wireless microphones in the system. There's a handheld, there's a podium, and there is a lapel. And these are kept in the drawer in the main rack room. So the lapel is for a lapel microphone for a officiant or somebody that's speaking or somebody that would want to talk for a presentation. Handheld is exactly what you'd think. The podium would go on top of a podium, and it's designed to be speaking from distances like this when you're speaking on a podium and it's hitting your face there. The handheld, of course, is something you can walk around with. We have placed the antennas out of the rack room so you can walk around with this handheld all through this area and through the main lobby area. However, we can't go outside of the building. But I just want you to know that when you turn on the microphone, it just turns on, and you'll get a green light when it turns on, and it automatically is hot. The volume for that follows the main volume that you have here set up right here on the keypad. So it doesn't matter what source you're on or what you're controlling the volume for. If you raise the main volume, it also raises the volume of the microphone. So you're going to be raising simultaneously the volume of the Bluetooth and the volume of the microphone. But if you need more microphone volume, that does allow you to control it back here on the main volume. So you can hear that people can hear me just fine with this handheld, and I can walk around and it comes through all the speakers and it sounds great. So you can just automatically turn on the microphone and control the volume where you want it. All right, so that is the deal with the microphone. You just pick the right type of mic for the application and then simply turn it on. Just make sure it has fresh batteries in it. I can't tell you that how many times done a live event and you didn't have fresh batteries in the microphone and that was really the problem. So always make sure you have fresh batteries in there and before you start an event. It's always a good rule of thumb. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the video portion of this, which is the inputs. So when you hit inputs, you have, again, wireless HDMI 1, wireless HDMI 2, and then the wall plate. So the wall plate is, once again, this down here, this wall plate. When you plug in a laptop with an HDMI cable to this, you would select all wall plate. Now, while we're talking about the wall plate, this XLR jack and these inputs right here that we talked about earlier, that is always hot. So if you simply plug a microphone, hardwired microphone into that jack, you are gonna get audio. It's automatically hot. You don't need to select it. It's just there. You just plug it in. Okay, so the all wireless HDMI 1 and 2, we're just gonna select 1. And you'll notice when I do select 1, let's go back here. What's happening is the TVs are powering on automatically, and it's automatically going to the HDMI 1 input. It takes it just a minute. All right, so when you select HDMI wireless 1, this is the screen you're gonna get, which is exactly the same thing we just went over into the bridal suite. It's exactly the same situation. If you were to take your phone and zoom in on that mirror op QR code right there, it will automatically take you to the mirror op software page. But there's your code on the top right-hand corner. It says code 1031. There's the SSID and the host name and the IP. So you simply go to your browser and type in that IP address, which is 172.16.31.16. So when you type that in on your browser, it automatically takes you to the WePresent and will either download the software or will connect you depending on if you are on an Apple or a Mac, or an Apple or a PC like we discussed in the other room. I'm not going to go over the details of the wireless HDMI because we went over that in detail in the bridal suite. It's exactly the same situation in here as what we discussed in the bridal suite conference room. So just know that you have 2 of these to select from that you can select in this room for that application. So HDMI Wireless 1, HDMI Wireless 2, and keep in mind that multiple people can connect to the exact same wireless, and if you did so, you would see multiple side-by-side screens of multiple devices that are connecting. So this is a great way for everyday presentation. As soon as you have somebody come in here with a laptop, you don't need to connect a cable, just simply go to the wireless HDMI 1 and then just connect with the instructions on the screen, and when it does ask you for the code, that's the code that's up on the screen. So that code will change. You just have to look at the screen to know where to go. The IP address and then the code are the 2 things that you need. All right, so that tells us everything we need to know. The keypad goes to sleep like we talked about. When it does, you put in your code, 1933, check mark, takes you right back. And the control 4 button there on the top left-hand side, that little number 4, that takes you to the listen input page at any point in time. This little home icon in the top right-hand screen, that's gonna take you back home where you can adjust what's going on or what's been selected. In this case, we have Bluetooth selected with wireless HDMI video here that you can go into. All right, so that's everything that you really need to know with this device. So there's your listen, there's your inputs. You can select for the TV. As far as off goes, let's just do the off then, and we'll call it good. So here we go. Oh, yep. Your power button right here on the top right-hand side. You can hit that power button. That will shut off your source. That's shutting off the Bluetooth. I shut off the wireless HDMI here, but the master power off is here on the right-hand side. So you can individually shut off your sources, or you can just hit the main power off, and when you do so, you'll notice the TVs automatically power off. You don't have to individually power those on. They shut off by themselves. So just hit the power button, shut it off, good to go. If you have any other questions, you can call us at the office, 232-5966. My name is Aaron Coker. You can reach me at the office at any point. Happy to help. My cell phone number is 221-0325. That's 221-0325. You can text or call me. If it's after hours or on the weekend, I do not always respond right away, but I will get back to you. All right, thank you very much.